Welcome. I would like to take you through a somatic mindfulness practice that I have used for myself for many years, and I also offer it to clients if it is a good fit. So these are my basket of rocks. Now, maybe you have a basket of rocks handy and you can go grab them. In the meantime, if you just want to gather some things wherever you are that have different weights, maybe different textures, different sizes, maybe, four things, and just bring them in and we can use those. But I highly recommend, if you find this valuable, to go out into nature. First of all, it's so good for our mental health, and take yourself on a little scavenger hunt and find your own basket of rocks. And these represent the weight, the stuff that we carry. Things like our worries, big emotions like grief, sadness, anger. How about the stories we tell ourselves, about our life, and all the parts of life that just feel hard and heavy sometimes. And each one of these rocks has its own texture, shape. So some are big, some are small, some are kind of rough and jagged. And each one of these has its own history. So just like the experiences that shape us, these rocks have had experiences that shaped it, that created its form. And we would never look at a rock and say, oh my gosh, it did it all wrong. We'd simply look at a rock and say, that's a rock, and that's the shape of that rock. And hey, that's so interesting how it is smooth, or how it has these edges, or it's this shape. So rocks don't apologize for their experiences and their shape, and neither should we. So I want you to choose your rocks, your things, something that represents, what you're feeling right now. What is it that you're carrying? So I feel like what I'm carrying is, I'm going to go with like medium heavy, but it also feels familiar, like one of those stories, one of those themes that kind of keep popping up in our lives. And so I'm choosing a rock that's smooth. And so I invite you to choose something that represents, what is it that you're carrying? Does it feel kind of rough inside you? Does it feel like it's tearing you apart a little bit? Do you want something more jagged? Or maybe you have, a bunch of worries that accumulate. So a bunch of little rocks, but then you put them all together and they feel pretty heavy. So finding something that represents what you're feeling, and pick it up. And then I want you to notice, how does that feel? How does your body respond to you picking up this rock or item that represents the thing that you have been holding? Do you brace? Do you feel like, oh, I just collapse under the weight of it? Do you move away from it? Do you tighten? So just noticing. How do you hold it? Are you holding it in one hand? Do you hold it in both? Are you gripping it? Are you barely able to hold it? So just noticing how you hold it. Not through words out loud, but through a sensing and feeling language. So I also want to talk about how this rock is not you. It's something that you're in relationship with. However, very important, sometimes what we're carrying, it didn't start with us. It didn't begin with us. It can be, and we can be, shaped by larger things. Family patterns, our culture, systems of oppression that we are trying to survive in, collective grief. Those are just a few examples. And we might not think about what we're carrying as anything else but ours. It gets very individualized. But it's very important to open up that lens to examine, did this even start with me? So we are human beings and we are going to have difficulties, hence the basket of rocks. So this is not about getting rid of difficulty or, kumbayaing away, hardship, difficulty, challenge. It instead addresses the suffering. So the suffering comes from when we are just completely attached to what hurts, to the weight of what we're carrying. We try to, reason with it. We replay things. We try to, solve things, and we try to think it out. We try to fix it. And it doesn't work because we are still holding on to this as we're doing all of that. Our relation to this has not changed. Our relationship has not changed. So we're going to practice putting this down. Now, I'd also like to say that for some of us, this is so strong in our identity, and it was so necessary for our survival that we might not be ready to put it down. And I want you to know that's okay. Now, we don't want to keep carrying around things that don't feel good to us and that keep us from enjoying our life. But we don't just want to take something away without building up something underneath, more of a sense of self or groundedness. So if you feel like putting this down means you're going to break into, a billion bitty pieces, you don't have to. Not right away. Not right away. So how do we make that shift? Well, can you hold it differently? If you've been holding it in your left hand, can you hold it in your right hand? If you've been holding it in your hands, can you put it on your leg? Can you hold it to your chest? Can you just let it rest with you? So just making a little bit of a smaller shift and change to that relationship. Now we're going to put this down. So put it down. Come back to yourself. Feel yourself. See? That's not you. That is something you are in relationship to. So just feel yourself. It's still there. We didn't kumbaya away. We didn't gratitude away. Because it's important sometimes to feel things, hard things, so we can grow the capacity to hold them. Not with gripping, but with responsiveness. So here we go. Let's pick it back up. Hold it. Notice. Is there tightness? Maybe up in your shoulders. Can you let them relax? Still holding this, but you're changing your relationship to it. What about your stomach? Does it grip? Does it hold? Let it relax. So noticing in yourself, these are just suggestions. You might have tension in your jaw. You might notice that you're pulled away. So feeling what's happening in the body. And if we're not really familiar with this, this is challenging. So we just practice. Right? With that softening, can we breathe? Expand out, condense in. Let's do it again. So we still are holding this difficulty, this challenge, this heaviness, but but we're breathing. We're responding with it rather than reacting. How do you feel? Let's put it down. Still there. What's your relationship to it? Maybe it bothers us a little bit less. Let's pick it back up one more time. And then your choice. You can just allow the weight to rest with you, or you can put it down. So just making that choice. So this somatic mindfulness practice helps us to understand that we're not fixing and we're not avoiding what's hard. We are learning how to engage with it, and we're doing it through the body, through this somatic understanding of weight and what's me and where are my boundaries, and I can put this down and pick it back up and feel the difference. That is growing a sense of presence, capacity. So we have to notice, in order to grow capacity, that we can feel big stuff. We can feel very deeply, but we also can stay connected to ourselves. We can stay grounded. And we can also learn how to go out into the larger world and still stay connected and grounded. So you are not your rock. You are the one holding it. And that may not be fair, right? It's not fair I have this weight, this heavy thing, right? But it's there. So what can we do with it? And so we can choose to relate to it in a way that is more responsive. Healing isn't about getting rid of the hard things. It's about learning how to carry them with a little more space, more compassion, and more awareness. So I want you to know this isn't you, and it really might not be you. So this is somatic mindfulness. It's not about doing something or making something happen. It's about being curious and really a little courageous and learning how to be with what is and learning how to hold it a little more lightly, a little bit more differently. So if you found this to be valuable in any way, I would love to hear your comments. Feel free to DM me, put it in the comments, and I really appreciate you joining me for this practice. Take good care of you. You are always needed, way more than you might know.